Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. And Linda brought something to me that I'm aware of, but I don't think I talk about enough. So, Linda, we're talking about what you noticed the other day when you were along the trails at the intake.
Yes, that's correct, Don. In the summer, when we're walking around, we see all kinds of things going on. And regularly, we see some locals who walk their dogs. And on this particular morning, I was watching this gentleman who has two beautiful golden labs. And he also had a little wee dog that was running around. And I noted that the dog got caught in something and I didn't know what was going on. And I went over and the little pup had gotten his feet caught in fishing line. It had been
The
tossed.
people had just thrown out because
Yes.
they got a tangle.
Yes. Yeah, they decided we didn't want it anymore. We just tossed it on the ground. And so I think the focus of today's discussion is the proper disposal of fishing line because it can potentially create a problem for a dog or a child.
In this case, the dog would have probably started chewing on it or did.
Because yes, this dog did start chewing because it was caught in his paw, and he was, trying to extricate it from his paws, and so he could have choked on it.
I think this is a great point, and I think it's something that we don't talk about enough. We when we're out there fishing, we're really responsible to leave where we go in the same way as it was when we got there. This is what any department in the country is going to sort of, their mantra becomes, leave this the way you discovered it. Well, in this case, anglers, you get a big tangle and you have to strip all your line out of your reel and it's all knotted up, and a lot of times people will just throw it on the ground, not realizing that everything that comes into that area can be caught in that line. It's terribly dangerous, not just for pups that are walking with their owners, but for all the wild beings that are out there.
Yeah, the
From
birds get it into their beaks, or if it's tossed into the water and it gets caught by a turtle, it's no longer useful, and it becomes a detriment to whatever organism happens to get it and ingest it.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how dangerous fishing line can become. It's terrible, and especially plastic. That's garbage that we're throwing out there that we need to be careful of.
Yes.
So I know every time I go fishing, if I get any tangle and I have to cut the line, I wad it up and stick it in my pocket.
Good.
Till later,
Yeah.
Not so that it gets caught in the washing machine and dryer.
Yes,
hopefully you check my pockets.
But it certainly prevents some unaware organism from getting it into their stomach or their throat and choking.
And they do all the time. Birds, especially that use our wetlands, that's a huge thing.
That is a huge thing.
Anyway, I don't think we talk enough about it, so I'm glad you brought it up for me for this week.
Yeah, so just being aware that put it in the garbage or in your
Yes.
pocket.
Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report.